Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Amit Tiwari, and I'll talk about the robotic process automation with the UiPath. My background is I'm master in computer science. I live my life being a software developer, architect, and I mean a lot of good things around software development. So I love doing a lot of development. I'm one of the MVPs for the UiPath. They are one of the great product company for robotic process automation. And in my experience in about 20 years, being doing a lot of development around creating many web applications, mobile applications, some of the game applications, then probably the way industry is changing. So I keep learning, and now I do a lot of robotic process automation as well as data analytics, and I'm trying to learn the blockchain. So the learning never ends, right? So that's what it is. I'll get started with the robotic process automation, the topic which we are here. So what is robotic process automation? I mean, that's one of the big questions everybody asks. Like people have seen the human robots, what they do, but what is exactly the robotic process automation? And if I just play this video quickly, and if you can see, so these are the actual robots, right? If and this is one of the example of the Amazon fulfillment factory. I mean, how the robots are working as a human in their factory to move things from one shelf to other shelf, even kind of taking out the deliveries and packaging them for the shipments, the order which we do on Amazon.com. So a lot of in the behind, the robots are taking those orders, they are processing it, and they are kind of making it ready for the shipment. And this video kind of shows very cool that how you can see that individual robot goes under the cell, and they are kind of moving shell from one area to the other area where exactly it should be located. And you can see that, I mean, how efficiently they are able to process it around the factory. And these factories are pretty huge. And they go to their specific place where they are trained to go, so they do not make mistake, as well as they do not collide to each other because there's a lot of robots working in the factory. So, I mean, that kind of efficiency we get with the robots working on the factory, right? Now, if we talk about what is robotic process automation, so that was the real robots, but now we are in the software world, computer science world, and we talk about the digital robots. So the same robots, which is you can see and working in the factory as a human. Similarly, the software robots, which works on our computers, and what we did that they do the same work which we do. So instead of us focusing on when you grow up, and probably when you do go to work, working as a finance expert, or working as a back office person, or working as a, I mean, anything in the office, right? I mean, there's a lot of work which you do, and there's a lot of manual work needed. And some of those manual work are like you log into different application, you try to move files from one place to other place, you try to read information from one place and then probably copy it at the other place. You try to search something and probably pull the result out of it, and then probably share with everybody within your company or with your boss or anyone who needs, right? Or even connecting to different systems and doing some level of calculations, reading the email. I mean, all that work which human does. So the digital robots can. And one of the example would be, let's say, for example, you are trying to plan your trip in coming winter, or probably in January timeframe to LA or Vegas, let's say, and you are looking for a good result of the flights, a best flight which is available, definitely the cheapest flight, but you also want the direct flight. So what you can do is, instead of you searching every day, you can create a robot which can go launch the web application, the browser. It will open the kayak.com or mybooking.com, any of those travel sites, right? And it will go and search for you on daily basis, and it will give you the good price on that day, and that it can email that to you, it can text that to you, so that you are not spending time in searching, but you are just kind of reviewing the results, saying, okay, now today has price changed, so let's go and book it. Now the price looks like increasing, let's go ahead and book it, right? So that kind of thing. And if you see how it helps in the future world, in the current automation technique, and if you see my screen, is how it works is there are many systems. So there are database systems, there are a lot of legacy database applications which were created long back when we were into the software had started. So a lot of organization still uses that. There is an internet application, there is a customer representative system, so CRM systems. And what happens is whenever you are trying, when anybody is trying to work in your, when you go to your office and do a lot of work, you have to interact with a lot of many systems to get some information out. And because these systems are not created by one company, they are many other companies. So that's where it's very difficult to pull information together just by doing one thing. And you are every month on daily basis, you are trying to do same thing, pull out some report, create something, or post something. You are doing all that repetitively. But with the robot, what happened that the digital robots, the way you saw in the factory, the actual robots work in the factory as a human. The digital robots also work in the same way. So instead of you sitting in between, in the center, you will train a robot. So the robot's job is to do everything you do with all those applications. So robot will go to the web database, robot will go to the internet application, robot will go to any of the legacy system, robot will go to understand like what process you want to do, what you try to do, right? So the robot will be trained to do the same work which you are doing, and you just need to click a button and the robot will process all that for you, and then it will come back and give you the report saying, okay, now this is what you wanted. That's it, right? So now you is spending 2 hours or 3 hours or only 1 hour on daily basis, kind of getting all of that things together, consolidating it, and then probably trying to put your brain now that, okay, I have all the information. Now I can think, okay, what is going wrong or what kind of decision I have to make. So you, now with help of the robots, what happens? You are the person who is working can only focus on the decision making, which is the intelligent work, instead of he being trying to do the manual work and getting all the information out of different systems, right? So before that, so your mind and the brain and whoever is working is fresh because you don't have to do all that manual work to first collect the data, but your job is to analyze the data. Your job is to analyze the information and then make a decision based on that. So you are now focusing on the intelligent work, any mundane or repetitive or the manual work, which is you do every day. You don't need to worry about it anymore. And the digital robots can do that. So that is one good example. Similarly, if in this example, if you see in the normal process, maybe somebody, this is kind of creating and adding a user when somebody kind of joins in your company, and you are kind of a system administrator. So you will go and log into support system, you will navigate to the user roles, add a user role, add a user, then send an email. So those all different activities you do, which will take about 15-20 minutes. But let's say you are working in a very big company and they have 100,000 of employees, and probably lot many people join every day and leave every day. Now somebody's job is to manually adding everybody who is joining on that day, as well as removing and restricting the people who are leaving the organization, right? So that job can be trained by the robot, and you just train the robot and say, okay, whatever HR sent you information, like, okay, this person joined, and the robot is automatically processing it. So you don't have to worry about processing their information at the last line you see, right? So the robot is replacing whatever human is doing and just doing that manual work. And then you can focus on more specific intelligent work around the IT. So making sure your organization has a secure and all of your servers and applications are running well. So you can focus on that. So that is one of the good examples. So this is, I mean, just kind of giving a quick introduction about the robotic process automation. But if we look here, UiPath. So UiPath is a leader in robotic process automation. So they are the one who mostly started the robotic process automation, where the digital robots can do a lot of work which human does. And what they did that they created those software technology in the background, and whereas they gave us mechanism to build those robots, they gave us easy mechanism to create the robots which can help us, and they supported with a lot of other information where how to maintain that robot, how do we manage that robot. So I mean, they are more of a software robot, so people don't have to be a robot, like, right? So, and at the bottom, if you see, I mean, majority of bigger organization uses like NASA, Google, Autodesk, GE, DHL, Airbus, right? HP, Fujifilm. So a lot of people use that because they see the benefit, and they have, I mean, some of the examples, they have hundreds plus robots running within their organizations, not just one. So you can think of like how many different manual activities they have automated just by the digital robots, and their employees can now focus on making more meaningful work and more intelligent work instead of doing the tiring work where like people don't like do those mundane work, right? So and probably I'll come back to this later. So in the meanwhile, we can do a quick development review just to see what exactly RPA is. So what UiPath provide is it's a very low code technology. So we can do a lot of things with the drag and drop. It's very easy to learn, and I will show you the example. So they have studios. If you are familiar with any of the software application development, so everybody has some level of a studio where you go and do some programming, right? And then probably you run your program behind us. Similarly, UiPath have a UiPath studio. That's where like you go and create a lot of programs, or probably what your robot is supposed to do. So in general, what we do is like we put a process flow chart. I mean, and probably some of you might be familiar with what is a flow chart. So flow chart means from starting point, from point one to start point to the end point, what all steps you are going to take to create the work which you do. And that's what you are going to be training your robot that, okay, this is what all I do on daily basis, and that will become my starting point, and step one, step two, step three, and then last point, right? And that's what like we created. And what UiPath provide is this studio offers, I mean, you can go ahead and create a new sequence or flow charts, or different kind of project options are there, but they are pretty much standard and similar. So you can start with the sequence or flow chart, which is taking you on a sequential execution process. But when you create it, that's where like you have, they have a lot of activities which is already created. So these activities you are just dragging and dropping. So in my example, what I did is, and maybe I'll run it and then probably I'll show you what it does. So in my example, what I did is I created an application. So what it does that it starts and it open in browser. And if I just double click here, and this is all drag and drop. So it's go to finance.yahoo.com. That's his first activity. And then it deep dives into, then it goes to second activity where step 2. So I go and click on the search. They have search box. I enter the Tesla as a stock price because I am the person who likes to get information about some of the stocks which I like on daily basis. So I wrote the Tesla. Maybe I can write many others. So the robot can process everything and just send me a report out of it. Then it searches for the Tesla stock price, and then it reads what is the current price for the Tesla. And then it extracts that information from the web application. And after that, it not only stops there, but it's going to send an email to me. So it will go and launch my Outlook, then kind of write my email address, and then it will write that the stock price was Tesla is this is what the stock price, and it will send an email to me. So this is the complete flowchart application which I have created, and this is all drag and drop. I will show you quickly, but let me run it and show you how does it look, right? So if I run this, and the robot is now running, and you can momentarily see that it will launch. It will soon launch an web application. Yeah, it did launch the browser, and that is finance.yahoo.com. And you can see all its robot is working right now in the background. It clicks on that top search box, and it will type the Tesla there. Still waiting because it's I think it's still in the load process. Yeah, now it's typing Tesla. It will click on the search button there. It click on the search button. Now it extracted that. You can see that the price tag for Tesla, it's 1033.42. It will read that information in the background. And now it will launch my email box, which is on the just 1 second. It went on my second screen by mistake. And it sends out an email. It sends out an email saying that the stock price for Tesla has now changed to 1033.42, and just like the date and time when it sends out, right? So that's what the robot did. But maybe let me pause it again and rerun it for quick, because I have double screen, so it's getting confused probably. I'm rerunning it, the same example. Now I moved my email as well on the other screen, so hopefully this should work. It opens the browser. Goes to Tesla symbol, search in it, and click on the search button. Now it will extract that Tesla price from there. And now it should open my email, and which will show you how it's actually going to my inbox, clicking on the inbox, and then it will go to new email. Oh, again, it moved to second screen for me. And you'll momentarily see that there's an email coming out because the bot was typing in the background. So I think there was two screen problem, but let's see. There should be an email popping out shortly here, and you can see that the same email popped out here with the 11:26, which is the current time, almost there. So bot did that, right? And I mean that's one good example. So similarly, you can create it. And how do we create that bot? It's all drag and drop. So when I open the web browser to open the finance.yahoo.com or probably amazon.com if you want to type it. So you can just search for browser and you can click the get browser or open browser activity over here, right? And same thing if you want to search for the email reading. So there's all the activities available in the activity center. But if you go on the different email box, so we type in something, we kind of get information. So how do I click? If I search click, so it can give me the mouse click element. So I can use the mouse click element to click on anywhere in the browser where I want to see. Then I can probably do the type. So I can do a text type into a text box, which was a search box I did type, and then I click on the search box, and then probably I'm reading that text, right? So I can do the get text element, and get text will kind of read the information, whatever I point out, the bot saying that, okay, this is what you need to read, right? And for example, if I have to show you where do I do the get text, so I click here, I indicate on the screen. So if I go here on the browser, and you can see that if I click here, I'm pointing it here. So this is exactly reading the information from the Tesla ticker that this is the item which I need to read. And that's the value which robot will always go and read for you, right? So, I mean, that's kind of simplicity it provides, and then probably working on different flow charts. So giving that quick example that how easy it is to create with your drag and drop and probably pointing it. I mean, this program I can create in 10 minutes. So, I mean, that's quick it is. And similarly, I mean, when you go to work or probably when you grow up doing some work, by the time the way industry is changing, probably these robots will be part of the human life, and everybody in uh, in uh, in your organization probably either creating some of these bots for their use, or maybe using some of those which has been already created. So it's very beneficial to kind of learn about it, and probably collaborate to work with the digital robots, right, in future. And coming back to the UiPath, so UiPath is a great company. They have a pretty awesome product on offering on this. And what they not only provide you with the studio and the code and everything else, but what they also do is they have a free academy. So you can go online, and it's self-learning academy. You can register yourself and start learning. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. They give you all the steps to follow, and you can learn from there. So you can go to the academy. Automation Cloud is something where when you kind of start doing the academy, you need to create your account, and that's where your robot get deployed. They have pretty strong forum. So forum is something where like people post their questions. You have anything you are challenging, so you can post there. And there will be people who will answer to you, who can support you. That what information, if you are stuck with some problem, people will be there to support you. They have great community, which is led by the community team members, and they help. They put a lot of these sessions around, and they also invite people to speak and talk, and probably help you create those hackathons and many other things. So a lot of things, and probably they have, I mean, good blogs and tutorials, and finally they do the recognize people around the world who kind of use robotic process automation at best as an MVP, and I'm one of the kind of one, and pretty honored to be MVP with UiPath. So definitely great place, but I'll show you quickly I had pulled out, yeah. So the Academy, if you go to the Academy, it's academy.uipath.com, and probably you need to sign up with your account. And then you can see that they have bunch of courses listed here. And probably you just need to go to the RPA starter one, and then that will help you start building some of the initial robot. And those are like, you can see that it's 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour kind of courses. So very, not too long, but that will give you get a start on it. As well as, I mean, if you are playing certain role, you have mind like what do you want to be, you can follow some of these fundamental courses. So this is give you very detailed learning. They provide the certification also, so these certification help you get the job and kind of prove that okay, you have learned about the robotic process automation. So pretty awesome place to do learning, self learning, and very simple, very straightforward information has been provided in it. I have learned from the Academy, so I'm really proud of it. Then this is their forum where like you can, once you create a login to Academy, I mean, same login can work with the forum as well. And that's where you can post all of your information. Information means like any questions you have, any, you can search for some of the problems which you are facing, might some other might have already solved it for you, right? So just look for it. So very good organization with supporting all in all the aspect. But if you want to learn more about UiPath, there is a workshop which is which is tomorrow itself, I believe. Let me open that quickly. So you can go and learn with that workshop. So this is on November 14th at 11 a.m. starting. It's from the community. You can register and probably get details out. And then there is speaker and probably who is hosting it. All that information is there. But this is a great time to, I mean, it's a good workshop to learn more about UiPath and RPA with more hands-on work around it. So I would suggest probably you should definitely chime in there. And if you want to learn, if you are interested, definitely try to do that. So that's it from my side. I hope you liked it. You enjoy the learning. And this is was at very high level, but I think I believe this might have given you a good overview of robotic process automation and how UiPath is taking that journey and helping many others to take that journey of learning. So good luck to you and all the best.